Tristan Alvarez, a 22-year-old graduate student from Trinidad visiting his older sister in the USA, was wrongly accused of a crime he did not commit and was put in jail for 2 nights without legal counsel.
Tristan, a friend of mine, I know his sister here, she's a PhD candidate in petroleum studies, geology at the University of Texas in Austin. They come from a very good family. I've broken bread with these people. They're very nice people. Trinidadian or Trini middle class, educated, hardworking, industrious, God-fearing, nice people. And Tristan comes for a visit, see his sister, first time in the United States. Comes through proper channels, flies in through Houston, passport, visa, everything else. This is a young kid, I think he's 21, 22 years old with a bright future, right? He's got a dual degree from the University of the West Indies. Undoubtedly he's going to go back, as his sister did, and get a master's, maybe a PhD. And he, potentially would come to either Canada or the United States for that higher education. So here he is being arrested, what I believe wrongfully, without, with dubious allegations of any wrongdoing, just because he's a black man with an orange hat, with an accent.
It was one of the first times in my life that I really found prejudice that still exists, and people will go out of their way to enforce that prejudice on other people. Our friend Tristan, in a modern world, in the US of A, where our personal freedoms we take so granted, everything in the world went wrong for him.
His sister, Trisha Alvarez, living in Austin, Texas, suggested Tristan join her and 3 other friends, Eric, Jeff, and Nick, tubing in New Braunfels, Texas, where floating down the Kamal River in an inner tube provided by one of the several businesses along the river has become a booming attraction for tourism in the area. What was originally planned as a pleasant excursion ended up as a nightmare. The tubing went well at first, and the group of friends were having a great time with others they encountered down the river. As the float came to an end, there was some commotion going on at the takeout point. So
he was with us the entire river trip, minus the last 5 minutes. He's 20 feet ahead of us. When the disturbance breaks out on the bank with these Latino kids trying to pick a fight with a black male, I looked over there and I said, I'm not worried about it, that's not Tristan.
Tristan and Jeff were together at another exit point. As Tristan exited the river with Jeff, the police immediately descended on him, placing him in handcuffs.
2 girls. One girl said she was touched at the takeout point on the thigh. She says by a dark black male who never spoke to her, touched her on the thigh. The second girl said that she was, the guy came up behind her someplace in the river. No details as to whether or not he had a tube, who he was with, anything like that. And came up behind her and pushed his genitalia into her buttocks and said, "This is how we do it in Cuba." All she said was a black guy in an orange hat with an accent. No girl actually said it was a floppy boonie style hat, which Tristan was wearing. They just said orange hat. The only person that ever said that there was an orange floppy hat with this drunk Latino kid with a mohawk. He's drunk. Cops didn't even get his name, but they took the time to sit him down and talk to him. I think it's the same kid who actually came charging in the water, swinging at a different black gentleman. And then another girl came forth to say, he's a nice guy, you wouldn't do that. The same officer took her over, supposedly videotaped the interview, which they didn't give us the video. That video disappeared. That video would have had my interview, Nicholas Marilax's interview, and the 3rd girl that came forth. He took the girl that came forth to say he wouldn't do this thing, he's a nice guy, I talked to him earlier on the river, and utterly lied about it, or misconstrued what she said, and wrote her up as saying the exact same MO that happened to one of the other girls with the, this is how we do it in Cuba, genitalia to the buttocks thing. And she says flat out, that's not what happened. Because we were able to get in touch with this girl. Because after all, she came forward for Tristan's side of it. And the cop full on lied, went beyond just, getting it kind of confused as to what she was saying. And, there's no video evidence now to back that up.
I mean, people tried to come to his assistance. they were turned away. We tried to speak on his behalf. We were threatened with arrest.
That an off-duty firefighter, or someone who said he was an off-duty firefighter, came forth to say that they had the wrong guy, but the police officer, his name is Miller, would not take the man's statement.
At first it was just, I couldn't believe what was happening. I mean, literally. You know, I would go up to speak on his behalf, you know, because we were with him the whole time, and I was told to go away or I'd be arrested. You know, the people that were with him for the entire trip, they wouldn't even take our statements. I mean, how does that make any sense? You know, how can you prove your innocence when the people that you're there with are told to go away? They didn't want to hear our side of the story.
Like I said, another thing, the same officer who would not talk to the off-duty firemen and who totally misconstrued, you know, either by negligence or deliberate, you know, malfeasance to lie about what the third witness who came forward, a girl, he turned her pro-Tristan statements into he's a perpetrator statements. He said on his report that our friend Nick had to be called over to explain his rights to Tristan because Tristan didn't speak good English. And that just shows you how no one talked to Tristan.
I mean, in a world where, you know, you at least think you could tell people you're innocent, they didn't even ask him. They didn't even listen to him. They thought he didn't speak English. It tells you exactly how much they really cared about his side of the story at all.
Tristan speaks perfect English. Trinidad is a former English colony, has been since 1800. They have an English educational system. That's their primary language. That's all they speak. They speak better English than any, and write better English than any of the folks in those police reports or the witness statements. They had 2 police cars with video going. The one that shows the 2 girls who are complaining, at the end of that video, you hear one cop say to the other over the mics, she says she doesn't think that's the guy.
This, when he's ready to go home. I don't think it's this. Yes, he does. You put him in a transport van. You're going to get in my car. Yeah, where that one? All right, here.
And the guy says, sure she does. He's going down. And then you see the girl literally on cue right in front of the squad car go, I don't think that's him. And you can hear it on the video.
Last name Alvarez. First name Tristan.
You can hear it on the audio. So that's the girl that had the whole this is how we do it in Cuba thing. But they never had a lineup. They never had the girls actually describe him. All they give was a black guy, orange hat. That's it. No height, no weight, no tattoos, no facial hair. No color of the shorts. No who are they with. No when did this occur. None of that.
He doesn't have a social.
Student down here?
Yeah, but he's playing dumb to it. Okay. That's one of the other reasons that we needed to sack him off. We gotta find him again.
Oh, no shit. Hey, how tall is he?
Oh, I got that for you too. About 5'9", 160 pounds, black over brown.
All right, ready. I don't think I need anything else from these witnesses.
As long as you got them identified by their name, address, phone number. We recorded both of them on the co-band in their statements, which CID really liked. Even though it's all Class C, too many victims.
Oh, no shit.
We actually have 3 victims.
I know, the other one didn't want to do it.
So when we gave that to our attorney, the attorney went and talked to the city prosecutor. The city prosecutor said he was going to contact all the victims and see if they wanted to still press charges.